All right. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for bringing yourselves to my little health update Zoom. I've been very public about my health journey for the last 6 years, and more recently, I've been quiet. I think mainly because I think it's several things. First of all, I've been suffering from cancer fatigue. I was diagnosed with uh, metastatic, stage 3 metastatic breast cancer 6 years ago. And then 2 years ago, we found out that I it had metastasized to the bones. So it was quite serious when we found that out because I'd been dealing with a lot of bone pain and even like trouble with movement, mobility, and I didn't know why. So it was very illuminating when I actually got that stage 4 diagnosis because it helped me to understand why I was dealing with that. So I've been on this journey of healing the appearance of cancer in my body now for 6 years. And I say healing the appearance of cancer in my body because I don't really identify as someone who has cancer. Um, I'm a longtime science of mind practitioner. And what does that mean? It means that I know myself to be a being of light and love, and I've been practicing that for 2 decades. And no 3D diagnosis is going to place any limits upon my life force. That's just how I feel. That's who I am. And so, you might have heard Christians say, to the devil, get thee behind me. Well, for me, the minute I found out I had cancer, it was like, get thee behind me, cancer. Like, I just never gave it any power. I was never afraid. I never thought that cancer would take me. And so my mindset around all that, I think, is enormous. I was, where was I? Oh, getting my nails done today. I was getting my nails done today, and there was HGTV. And there was a big cancer ad about some .com that they were promoting for cancer patients. And it says, the very first graphic they show is cancer is frightening. And I was like, it's really upsetting to me because people have been programmed to believe that cancer is frightening. And I just don't believe that my body is out to get me. I just don't believe that. And so I work in the light a lot. I've been doing light meditations daily, sometimes twice a day. And I'm going to be talking a lot about the different things that are working for me. And so, if you want to take notes, by all means do, because I am an affiliate for several of the things that I'm going to be talking about, and you can just reach out to me later if you want to learn more. Um, because I'm really working on elevating my, financial reality out of this cancer journey. Because I used to be a very busy business coach, making a very, very good income, and I'm no longer a very busy business coach. Now I'm a very, well, I wouldn't say busy, but I'm a very devoted network marketing professional, and I'm a rep for several companies. So I want to start off just by talking about these light meditations that I've been doing. So for many months this past spring, I kept getting the hit, like, you need to be spending time in the light, Stephanie. You need to be meditating on the light. And then poof, lo and behold, I found this amazing guy named Gary Kiss, and he does this amazing thing called the biohealing stream. And you're staring at a biophoton, which is this light infused crystalline orb. I don't know how else to describe it. And you're staring at it. That's how you start the meditation. And then he takes you on a light journey. And there's about 12 or 15 different meditations. And so I've pretty much done them all at this point. And each one is about 20, excuse me, 25 to 30 minutes. And I've just found it to be very healing to fill yourself up with light in a meditative space. There's a lot of things you can meditate on, right? Um, but meditating on the light, especially during the dark days that we've been experiencing here on planet Earth, like um, focusing on the light is medicine. It's medicine. And so it's medicine that I've known that I've needed, and it's medicine that I've given myself. So that's the first thing that I've been doing that I wanted to share with you. And if you are interested in the biohealing stream, I do pay monthly to have it, and I do have an affiliate link. Um, I think it started off being $77, but I think it's been just it's going up, or it might have already gone up to $88. It went up like $10 a month. But for me, it's worth it because I have access to the biohealing stream um, twice a day, and I can just go in there whenever I have time and go and be with Gary's meditations. And they're just powerful. Like he does a meditation for the musculoskeletal system, and he does a meditation for the blood and the heart, and he does a meditation for, you know, whatever you're dealing with in your body. Like you can focus on that and do a meditation around that. So that's been very meaningful to me. And reach out to me if you'd like to learn more about that. But I feel very strongly about those of us who are light workers need to spend time in the light. We got to do that on a daily basis. And that also, you know, means getting out into the sun. Um, I am and have been a big sun worshiper all my life. And actually, when I found out, this is fascinating, when I found out that I had the stage 3 diagnosis, my vitamin D levels were very, very low. And I thought, because I lived in Southern California, that I was getting plenty of sun. Mm-mm. We need at least 15 minutes a day of sunlight. Even if the sun's not out, like we can just go out and be in, be in the ultraviolet lights that come um through the cloud covering. So getting outside is also really important, and getting those, the biophoton rays that come from the sun is super duper important. So that's been working for me. And I intend to be doing a lot more of that in this fall, and I'll be sharing more about that in a moment. So, uh, what else have I been doing? Oh, okay. So, all last year, while I was doing the metronomic low dose chemotherapy, I was doing acupuncture with a local acupuncturist. In fact, when I was bedridden, she would come to my house and make house calls. She was such a love. It was wonderful. And then last September, when I was up in Vancouver, British Columbia, I reconnected with a dear friend of mine from high school. And she said, Steph, I really want you to work with my sister, Delphine. And I was like, okay. So Delphine came over and gave me a free acupuncture session, which I was very grateful for, and was very touched by her healing touch and by her care. And I just could feel the depths of her healing abilities. And I've been going up to Vancouver regularly. So when you see my social media and you're like, Steph's in Canada again, I'm not going up there just for social reasons. I'm going up there to work with Delphine. And this last time that I was up there, we had 2 sessions together. I worked with her on a Friday for 2 hours, and then I worked with her that following Monday for an hour and a half. And so she is just, so one of the things that she told me when we started working together last September is she says, Steph, the chemotherapy is creating a lot of heat inside your body. And think of the acupuncture as like a vent to let that heat out. And so it kind of scorched me on the inside, that chemo, it scorched me. So that leads me to the next thing that I want to talk about. I've really been paying a lot of attention to, you know, the need for me to really get right with my diet and to do some cleansing. And although I've been in the cleansing world now for almost a decade, I wanted to try something different. And so I wasn't feeling good in June. And it was just like this general malaise that I was feeling like in my my digestive system. There's no other way of describing it. And I was like, girl, you need to do something. And so I had been, I started water fasting in May and June. And again, I've done a bunch of water fasting in the last 6 years since I got the diagnosis. But I started water fasting, and one of my colleagues uh, commented ZenCleanz on somebody's post. And I was like, Dee Dee, what's the ZenCleanz? And so I made the decision to do their rainbow cleanse, which is a 7 day cleanse in July. I started on July 8th. And the rainbow cleanse is an intestinal cleanse, and it's a liver flush at the end. And then there's 4 days of fasting in the in between where you're just taking enzymes. So it's the ZenCleanz products are fermented enzymes, and some of them are liquid and some of them are powder. And the results of which, like, I just can't wait to do my next one. It was just so great. I will say that, and Kristen, we were just talking about this the other day, but um, that back in 2021, when I did the 21-day water fast in Costa Rica, I was very hopeful that during those 21 days, I would be releasing mucoid plaque. And I'd learned about mucoid plaque, and I knew that I had it in me and I wanted it gone, but it did not release in those 21 days. And I was like, why not? Because everybody else was releasing it, but it's probably my age, that many more decades than some of the younger folk that were there. And so within 24 hours of doing this, fermented enzyme cleanse, all this mucoid plaque came out of me. And I was just like, what on earth? And I was really excited about that. So, and I felt so good afterwards. And then I proceeded to do the 4 days of fasting on the enzymes and water. And then I did a liver flush, which is a 2 day experience, and released all these fat stones. So the liver has fat in it. You might have heard of fatty liver disease, which I don't have. But I thought, well, if the Zen Cleanse people are putting these two together and it's called the rainbow, that it's got to be good for me. So sure enough, I did it's called Forgive is the name of the liver flush. And it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy because you have to drink uh, a lemon juice and olive oil drink before bed. And then that's what forces all the fat to come out of the liver. And so I was really happy with the stones that were released. I was really happy with, the mucoid plaque that came out. And if you don't know what mucoid plaque is, just Google it and you'll see some of the photos. It's pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty nasty. So, but we all have it in us, and it's just mucus that hardens in the small intestine and prohibits full nutritional absorption of our food. And even really, really healthy people have mucoid plaque, which was kind of hard for me to fathom, but it's true. Once you start listening to some of the testimonials of people that have done the rainbow and they've done the Zen cleanse and stuff, it's like, wow, these people look really healthy and they've got mucoid plaque and they're in their like late 20s. I'm like, or early 30s, and I'm 60, right? So, um, so I'm pretty excited to keep going with the ZenCleanz products, and I'm looking at their affiliate program right now. Um, they are definitely a company that I think is on the right track for the increasingly toxic world that we live in. One of the things that I've learned through my superfoods company is that there's a daily need for us to be detoxing our bodies. Pretty much everything causes cancer right now in the world. And if it doesn't cause cancer, it causes inflammation, which can lead to cancer and lead to other serious diseases. And I honestly don't think it's hard to turn it around. You just have to want to. And better to not wait until you have a diagnosis. Better to do it before you have a diagnosis. So let me be the canary in the coal mine, and support you all to start looking after your health now. Um, and that leads me to my next topic, which is something that, most of you know that I've been doing here for the last year and a half, and that would be molecular hydrogen water. So this is a device that I found a year and a half ago, and I'm just going to turn it on because it's fun to turn it on. And there's my Belizean blue. You can see it. That's the molecular hydrogen going into the water. And I've been drinking molecular hydrogen water now. It'll be 2 years this fall. And I am, well, so last year when I started drinking it, I didn't know how it would help me. I just knew that it was going to help me because of what I was learning and the research that I'd done. I was dealing with so much medically last year, like the chemo, even though the side effects from the metronomic low dose chemotherapy were not severe, they were still very present for me. And so I uh I knew it was helping me, but I just didn't know how exactly until August of last year when I was talking to my oncologist and I said, Dr. Chu, how am I doing compared to the other people in your practice who have a stage 4 diagnosis? And he goes, Oh, Stephanie, you're doing very, very good. He says, You need to know that you're doing really, really good. I'm like, Oh, okay. Well, that's good to hear. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I wonder if the molecular hydrogen is helping me. Um, because if you look at the science, it shows that molecular hydrogen is very is a sort of a profound um, gas to help folks with cancer. So the science is there, and there's so much science connected to molecular hydrogen in disease. It's kind of mind-blowing, actually. More recently, I've been learning about neurological issues and molecular hydrogen, and people just keep crossing my path that have traumatic brain injury, concussions, um, unexplained brain issues. Um, and so what I've been learning is that it can incredibly help the brain. Because it penetrates the blood-brain barrier. So that's the good news. And then the other thing that was quite remarkable to me about the molecular hydrogen water that I've been drinking is that um, same month, August of last year, I'm driving along with my mom and I have short sleeve shirt on like I do now. And she goes, Steph, look at your arms. And I said, What about them? And she said, Your skin is beautiful. And I'm looking down at my arms and I was like, Oh, she's not wrong. And I'm staring at my arms and I'm driving. I'm staring at my arms and driving. And then it hit me. And I was like, Oh my God, Mom. I said, Do you know what we're looking at? She said, What? I said, A hydrated body. Because for years, you guys, for the last decade, really, of my adult life, I'd had very, very dry arms and very dry shins. And that was my body's way of telling me that I was dehydrated. And this is what I love so much about molecular hydrogen is it's deeply hydrating. And when the body is deeply hydrated, mitochondrial function, I call cancer mitochondrial dysfunction. Okay. So when the body is deeply hydrated, we have mitochondrial function. And that's what we want. We want cells that are functioning in an optimal way. And that's what this little baby can do. Yes, I am a distributor, and I'm very proud to be sharing this with my friends, family, and colleagues worldwide. So, um, so what prompted this Zoom tonight was the fact that, you know, when my oncologist shut down his practice in December of this previous year, 2024, I could have gone to his, the fellow that studied with him, which was 30 minutes south of Seattle. I live on Bainbridge Island, which is very near Seattle, proper, the city of Seattle in Washington State. But I had a mom friend connect me to an oncologist locally here in the Kitsap region, and they're 30 minutes away. And I was like, oh, well, that sure sounds good. So it was a bit of wishful thinking because I was like, oh, I'm not going to need their treatment. I'll just go there for the scans and they can just keep tabs on me because I would never do treatment with them because they were 100% allopathic. And so everything was going fine. Well, not exactly. I didn't love my oncologist. And when you have a doctor in something as serious as a cancer diagnosis, like you need to love your doctor. It's really important. Like we should not be talking to anyone about our health that we don't fully respect and love. And the bottom line was I did not respect this doctor. She was incredibly fear motivated. And as I, just mentioned at the top of the call, like anything that is connected to fear around cancer is nothing I want to be a part of. So I got a blood test in June. I met up with my naturopath in July, and she's like, "Yeah, Steph, your numbers are really high." And I'm like, "What?" And she was concerned, and I was like, "Yeah, okay. I've been having some back pain, you know, it's quite possible that the cancer is active." So when I was like, "Shit." Hence the cancer fatigue, right? Like I want this chapter to be done. Um, but that's not how life is, even though we want something to end, that's not how life is. So I said, you know what, Dr. Ho, I want to transfer my care to Dr. Chen, the one who practices metronomic low dose chemotherapy, the one who studied with my now retired former oncologist. And she goes, I think that's a great idea, Steph. And they'll tell you that they have like 100 people on their waiting list, but I'm going to get you in. I'm like, great, thank you. So I went and saw him last week, and um, we're waiting on some blood work. He got some more blood drawn. And so I'm kind of in a little bit of limbo with him, because we need to wait and see what's going on with this blood work. And he wanted me to get another PET scan. Initially, I said yes, but now I'm like, no. I just did a PET scan a few months ago. I'm like, I don't want to do another one. They fill you up with crap, which makes you radioactive. And I don't love all the scans that allopathic medicine constantly asks of us. And so I don't want to do that. But turns out that he didn't get a copy of the report of the PET scan. And I'm like, well, let's get you that copy of the report. And then let's get you the MRI that we did after that PET scan to verify, there was a concern about what was going on in my right eye, which is my good eye. And so, the MRI that I got after that PET scan showed that there was no anomaly in the right eye. It was a mess up with their scan. And I'm like, huh, if they mess up with that, what else are they messing up with? I thought the PET scans were the be all and end all of allopathic scans, And so I was just like, I started losing faith in their scans. And so anyways, so I said to Dr. Chen last week, I said, Dr. Chen, I don't want to do chemotherapy ever again. And he goes, that's fine, Stephanie. You have many options that don't involve chemotherapy. And I was like, oh, okay, great. That's what I wanted to hear. Thanks. So, so now I want to segue to uh, something else that I've been doing that could be elevating my blood work so that it looks like there's a lot of cancer activity, high tumor markers, etc. And this is a blood protocol that I've been doing since March. My girlfriend kept reaching out to me, Rachel, saying, you got to do this, you got to do this, I want you to do this. And I was like, nope, 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 nope. I'm good, thanks. This was all January. Finally, on Valentine's Day, she's like, Stephanie, I want to get this for you. I know it can help you. And I was like, and it's Valentine's Day. And she's like, you can pay me back later, but I want to do this for you today. And I'm like, okay. I was super skeptical, you guys. And but nevertheless hopeful, right? I mean, I'm that person, right? Like skeptical, hopeful, faithful, all the above. So I started not knowing really what to expect. And one of the major side effects of the metronomic low dose chemotherapy last year was severe neuropathy in my hands and in my feet. And I was told by some friends that neuropathy from chemotherapy is very hard to heal. So I was really concerned because I literally could not feel my feet when I'd be in yoga and doing downward dog. I'd look back and go, are my feet there? Because I don't feel them. And that was very alarming to me. I was like, I can't live like this. Like, what the hell? And I actually stopped chemotherapy early last year because he said, oh, the side effect of this last round is neuropathy. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it, not going there. So I started this blood cleansing protocol in March. So I did March, April, May, June. It's a 4-month protocol. And by the end of June, my fourth month, the neuropathy in my hands was gone. And the neuropathy in my feet is 90% better. So I've got about 10% to go in my feet. And I cannot even tell you how relieved I am that I can feel my feet and my hands. Because I used to open my wallet to like get my credit card out when I'd be paying for something, and I couldn't even pull the credit card out. Like I felt like I was all thumbs. Like I had no tactile connection at all with the material world. It was just horrible. I don't wish that on anyone, you know? So this is the little under the tongue spray that I spray 3 times a day. I do 8 sprays a day. Most people don't have to do 8 sprays a day. But because I'm dealing with a stage 4 diagnosis, I do 8 sprays a day, 8 sprays 3 times a day. So it's called iHercules, and they call it Health Restoration Quotient Microcirculation Champion. So you better believe that I'm just so happy about the neuropathy. But the other thing that I'm really happy about in regards to this protocol is how it's helping some dear friends and colleagues of mine one of them who has a very um, challenged son. He was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. He's adopted, and he's grown up with ADD, ADHD, autism diagnosis. And when she posted his brain scans on social media, I was like, what? I couldn't believe how much this boy's brain had changed for the better since he started the protocol. And I got really excited, and that's when I started sharing on social media about this protocol. So our blood is like it's like our life force, right? Our blood is so important. And another reason why I was super skeptical about that is because this company, this product, they say that it removes pesticides, um, parasites, and heavy metals. And I was like, what? Like that is intense. And those are some heavy duty claims, right? So, and I've struggled with heavy metals. Uh, I used to live right under LAX, and when I lived in Los Angeles. And so even though I've done a lot of heavy metal detoxing, there's still a lot of heavy metals in my body. And to be able to take something daily that's going to remove heavy metals from my body, as well as parasites, as well as pesticides, I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing. So I'm just going to keep going like well beyond the 4 months. I'm in my 6th month now, and I'm just going to keep going and let's see how good it can get. That's my plan. That is my plan. How good can it get? All right. So that's the iHercules. The name of that company is New Extracts, and yes, I am an affiliate for that as well. Um, so several of the other things that I'm doing, that I'm not an affiliate for, is okay. So this is going to surprise some of you. So, or not, if you've done your research. So there's a very close relationship between recovery for cancer patients and the ketogenic diet. And I used to look at ketogenic plates on Instagram and I was disgusted because at that point I was eating mostly raw salads and I was doing a lot of fruit. And that's a dietary protocol that I love. Um, but sadly, when I found out that I had a stage 4 diagnosis, that's exactly what I was doing. And then when I had my ZenCleanz releases analyzed, they're like, you suffer from internal dampness. And I was like, what? And so they analyze your mucoid plaque and all of your releases. And mine were very yellow and very wet. And they said the internal dampness is caused by raw food and um, and by tropical fruits, like sweet tropical fruits, which I flip and love. Mango, pineapple, um, you know, I love all those fruits a lot. And I love fruit. Like I eat it, I was eating it a lot. So, and it's very conflicting with other schools of thought. And there's a lot of schools of thought out there around nutrition. I know several of you here know what I'm talking about. So we all need to do what's best for us because I'm a firm believer in bio-individuality. And something else I learned about myself is that my blood type is O positive. And O positive people need to eat meat. And I didn't know that. I did not know that. But the reintroduction of red meat into my diet has been a game changer for me, because I was predominantly um, plant-based, eating chicken, salmon, and eggs and veggies. And knowing I've been known for a long time that gluten and grains are not great for me. And so keto um, is all about that. It's protein and veggies. So I'm not hardcore keto. I'm not hardcore anything, you guys. That's just not who I am. But I do veer more towards keto than any other dietary protocol at the moment. And one of the things that I'm doing might gross some of you out is blood organ um, uh, blood. Yeah, I think it's called blood organ supplements from from cow cow organ, and just in an effort to support my um I'm on the other side of menopause, and I really was just not feeling my best, and I really have been wanting to try different things to feel better. And so it's a few weeks into these, and they're called Primal Queen is the name of the company. And so it's all about helping you get vitamin B12, zinc, and copper, and to elevate your mood, your energy, your cognition, increase vitality, sex drive, which I haven't had a sex drive now in several years. And I don't know if that's because of the stress that I've been under, but I also think it's related to hormones. So, and I don't know about you, but a few years ago, I was like, I'm gonna have sex until I'm dead, like I love sex and I want to have it. But without a sex drive, it's kind of weird. It's like it's a bizarre experience to not have a libido. And so I'm hoping this is going to help with my libido. Um, aids in red blood cell production, decreases stress, healthy immune system. So beef organs. Yeah, B vitamin, abundance of B vitamins from B organs. So I'm doing this. It's called Primal Queen. I'm not an affiliate. I just had been following a lot of different profiles on Instagram, and I'm like, I'm gonna just give this a try. So I'm doing that, and and I feel really good about my diet right now. I definitely wasn't feeling that way 7 or 8 months ago. I think that part of being on the chemo journey last year was, oh, I feel sorry for myself. I need to have a croissant, a chocolate croissant, as a matter of fact. So, just treats. I need treats, right? I need to treat myself. This is hard, and it was hard, you know? And we can use food to ameliorate how hard things can be. And life has been hard, like I'm alone up here. I mean, I've got my family, but I don't have a partner. I'm still raising my 18, almost 19-year-old. He'll be 19 on Monday. And I'm doing it all on my own. I don't have help from his father. And so, it's it was easy for me last year to have a pity party, and I use food to help myself feel better. And so I'd gained quite a bit of weight, and so all that weight has dropped off now after doing the Zen cleanse and after just changing my diet to more keto and having less of the gluten and um, really watching my fat intake as well, really watching. I don't do fried foods at all anymore. Well, that's not true. I did have a couple fries the other day at the Woodland Park Zoo with my mom, but just a few. Like I don't eat like I once did though. Like I do still let myself have, the odd fry every now and again. But I really, I'm realizing after doing the Zen cleanse that I want to transform my inner terrain, and that's crucial for me. And I think it's crucial for all of us. Like, I truly believe in terrain theory in terms of health. And so it was very helpful for me to get a look at, and have my releases analyzed because they're like, you're drinking too many cold drinks. You need to be eating more cooked food, more warming foods like garlic, onion, using warming herbs and spices like cinnamon and cardamom and turmeric and ginger. All those things will help to heal internal dampness. So that's been fascinating for me to learn about. It's all based on traditional Chinese medicine, the Zen cleanse, which I've been a fan of for a really long time, with the acupuncture. And um, so it's actually, yeah, oh, does it? That's interesting, Kristen. So yeah, so I have changed. I have changed how I am uh feeding myself, you know, how I'm nourishing myself. So that's been a huge shift for me because I used to be, the salad eater. I would eat, hey, Roxana, welcome.
Hi, honey. How are you? I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm still at work working on a petition, but I wanted to come by and come on and say hi.
Thank
See you.
you.
You're welcome, honey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been sharing a lot
Good.
already, but I'm
Good.
glad you're here, and I'll definitely share the replay with you. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and Atosa too, because we've been talking in WhatsApp. So
Yeah, she's in Spain, so it's not a good time for her. It's the middle of the night, but
yeah,
she'll catch up with you when she comes.
yeah, that's good. Well, all in all, I am doing very well. I am trying to walk every day, and some days are better than others. Like my back is still really weak on certain days, Like the day at the zoo, I went to the zoo with my niece and nephew the other day with my mom. It was definitely a challenge. We were out there for like 3 hours in the heat, and it was just like, oh my God, I think I got a mild case of heat stroke. But yeah, no, I'm trying to stay active and do my qigong and do my yoga, and and make sure that I'm grounding and earthing. Like that's very important. I'm very aware of that now since I've been on this cancer journey to take off my shoes and let my feet feel the earth. I think it's really crucial that we all do that as often as we can. So, and then yeah, I've been sharing about all the different things that have been working for me. Oh, okay. So one of the other things that I started doing, you guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is C8 MCT oil. This is like brain fuel. So I put this in my tea, a chai, and my coffee when I have it, about a tablespoon, the ultimate keto fuel. So this has also been really good for me. I don't suffer from brain fog at all, not at all. People say that, that they got brain fog from chemo or chemo brain or whatever. That was never my reality. But I do a lot of good things for my brain, like that. And then the other things that I wanted you to know that I take every day, I take vitamin D every day, D3. Even though I'm getting out into the sun, I still take a vitamin, a D3 supplement. And then my naturopath has me on a resveratrol elite,
Yeah.
which I take, which is highly anti-cancer. And then this integrative therapeutics, it's called Pro Thrivers Wellness Flavonoid Complex. And this has got coenzyme Q10, theracermin, um, which I think is turmeric, actually, bioavailable, water dispersed turmeric, and then Japanese knotweed, which is what our so we talked briefly about my molecular hydrogen water, you guys, and that's the other thing that I wanted you to know about. So the company also released a molecular hydrogen tablet that I've been taking regularly as well. And the resveratrol comes from knotweed, similar to this supplement. So, and this has green tea in it, L-glutathione, and something else that's got too long of a name here. So, um, so yeah, so I've been taking these one, two, three times a day if I remember to fit it in. But it's a molecular hydrogen and NAD fusion tablet that you just stick in water. I've just got a little bit here that I was drinking when we first started. And it's great for travel, It's sort of like macrodosing molecular hydrogen, and this is like microdosing molecular hydrogen. And I take this device everywhere. I
Mhm.
take it on airplanes, I take it in my car, I take it cafes, restaurants. I do not drink tap water. Do not drink tap water, okay? Because when you drink tap water, you're the filter. And we cannot trust tap water anywhere on the planet right now. So,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the last thing that I wanted you to know that I'm doing is soursop.
Hmm.
So very, very, very common in South America, the fruit and the leaves to help with cancer. So I've been doing soursop now for quite a few months, actually. My brother-in-law bought me like a huge care package of soursop tea and gummies and extract. And so I've been enjoying it now. It's a delicious tea. So, those are all the things. Those are all the things that I've been doing that I wanted you to know about. So, yeah, that's my update, you guys.
Well, sounds promising, but do they have any prognosis as far as you going into remission, or are you already in remission?
So, I'm not in remission, but I do know yes, I do, Joe. I still take Biomedic. I will always take Biomedic, which effectively removes glyphosate from the body. Um, so I just at the before you came, I just switched oncologists, Roxana,
Mhm.
and I just saw him last week for the first time, and he studied with my oncologist who retired in December, and so one of the first things I told him was I don't want to do chemo again if there's, my numbers have been elevated, which is why I wanted to do this Zoom here because I didn't really want to get into it on Facebook Live. Like I just wanted to have an intimate chat with you all about it. Because sometimes when you're taking this blood cleansing protocol, it can, this is another thing that I'm doing, Roxana, is this blood cleansing protocol. It can break down the tumors and it can elevate your numbers as it's working to heal your body. So that's the other thing is some of what I'm doing can create elevated numbers.
Mhm.
That's very common. So when I spoke to Dr. Chen last week, I'm like, I don't want to do chemo anymore, Dr. Chen. He's like, oh, Stephanie, you don't have to do chemo. Like we have plenty of options for you. So I was hoping for us to have a Zoom meeting before I leave on Monday um, to go be with Dr. Joe Dispenza for a week in Marco Island, Florida. And so I was hoping to have a Zoom. I may still have one with him tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. We're waiting on blood work. So it may not happen until I get back in September. But um, I'm feeling very positive about how I'm feeling in my body and the fact that I'm working with Dr. Chen now. I didn't really respect my other oncologist, Roxana, is what I was talking about earlier. She's just full on allopathic, and that's just not what I believe in, So I didn't want to do any treatment with her if it was needed. So now with Dr. Chen, like he walks the line between naturopathic and allopathic, and I have a lot more respect for that. Just more of an integrative, medical doctor. So, so yeah, steady as she goes, I'm following my nose, I'm following my intuition. I'm going where I'm being guided to go. And my kids are doing great. Zephyr's going into college this year in September. And I'm moving out of this house that I currently live in on my sister's property. And my intention is to go to Belize for several months before Christmas. So that's what I am hoping is going to happen. Um, I was just talking with our friend today, Natalie Van
Mhm.
Zelm, Roxana, and where there's been some issues with my reservation in Belize, and so um yeah, they want to charge me quite a bit more than I initially had bargained for. And so so I'm gonna take the weekend and just think about it all. And I could go to Mexico, I could go to Bali. I mean, I have many options. But the bottom line is I really need to spread my wings and get out of the United States for a while. This has been a hard 6 years. I've been here through COVID, a divorce, custody issues with my ex. Like, it's just been a lot.
Yeah.
So I just really need a break. I need a break.
Yeah.
And
So Natalie is in Hawaii. She really loves it there. But maybe you should ask Natalie about what's going on with Antoine's farm in Costa Rica. Because since Antoine passed away, there I believe that Anael is still working on the farm,
yeah,
building it. It may be a good kind of a resort for you to go and veg a little bit.
yeah,
Um,
I've definitely been watching what Anael is doing, and we are connected in Facebook Messenger. So thank you. I mean, yeah, I do have options. So I'm gonna explore all my options. What did you ask here, Val? Let me know if you want to. Oh, yes. I wouldn't mind that actually. San Pedro is where I'm looking at in Belize, which is right on the coast.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think her place might be in the mountains, so it might not be right, but
Oh, yeah, no, I'm a beach girl.
okay.
I'm a beach girl, 100%. Well,
Believe me, I know.
well, good, you guys. Do you have any other questions or anything about
I think
anything?
it's great, and I like the shorter hair on you. I do like it a lot.
It's
And
crazy, Roxana. Look at it. It's like,
no,
woo,
I like it. I like the shorter hair, and
thank
um,
you.
I haven't seen you in a while. I've just been following your the pictures that you post. But
Yeah.
no, I think you have a good positive spirit, and that's half the battle. is not to despair. And
Yeah. No. I've made the decision, Roxana, I'm not going to die of cancer.
Fabulous decision.
I'm not going to die of cancer, so yeah, it's not happening. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I've never, I was sharing earlier that I've never felt that the cancer would take me. It's man's 3D diagnosis, and my life force is way bigger than any 3D diagnosis. So, I just don't have any fear about it at all. I just,
No, that's a good attitude. That's very good attitude. My aunt, my mom's sister, is going through stage 4 lung cancer, and she's 85 years old, so she's lived a really long and prosperous and beautiful life, but she is in such good spirits. She's surrounded by her grandkids, and they come and visit, and she's always been a social butterfly, and she loves people visiting her, even though she's bedbound and doesn't move much. She says, as long as I'm not in pain, I don't care. I'm gonna live as long as I'm gonna live, and I'm gonna enjoy myself.
yeah,
And such a wonderful attitude to have. I'm just
yeah.
so proud of her and proud of you for
Thank you.
not feeling,
Yeah.
not having a defeatist attitude, and facing life and world head on.
Yeah, thank you, Roxanne, and thank you so much for your support all these years. It's been very meaningful to me, both you and Atosa. I feel your love.
I'm glad. We're always here for you. If there's anything we can do, let us know.
Thank you, darling. So sweet. Val, you had a question?
Yeah, and I don't know if you have the answer, but I know on the post about the brain, your friend's son's
Yeah.
brain, she references like her father's Parkinson's, and I wasn't able to find anything. Do you know that story about the blood protocol and the
Oh,
Parkinson's?
that's her husband, not her father.
Okay, I
Her
thought it said,
husband. Yes,
can you
and
tell me about that?
yes, a little bit. I just know that there's been improvement from him.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, she got everyone on the spray, her husband, her son, and herself. And she's had all kinds of amazing things happen for her. And her friend with diabetes has seen improvement. And one gal's breast cancer is gone as a result of this. So that really blew me away the other night on a call that they did. The problem with the calls, Val, is they don't record them. So,
Mm.
and I think it's for FDA purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to get in trouble with the authorities. So,
And then are there all kinds of different like sprays, and how do you figure out which spray you need?
no,
Or is
no,
there
this
just
is
one?
only spray. This is
There's
it.
just one spray, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
I can connect you with Monet and you can ask her about the Parkinson's piece for sure.
Yeah.
I'll do a three-way
My
message on Facebook Messenger for sure.
my retired chiropractor who I adore has Parkinson's, and so I'd love to tell him about this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll connect you and Monet. That's great. I'm glad you
Okay.
asked. All right,
Of
Kristen.
course.
There's real epidemic of Parkinson's, and it's triggered a great deal by stress on the job. I practice a workers' compensation. I have a lot of cases of stress that people stress induced illnesses, and one of them is Parkinson's that is triggered
Really
stress on the job. Yeah, many
interesting.
clients, whether it's, some have heart attacks, some have strokes from stress, but Parkinson's, if the gene is in there, in your body, genetically, and it's been dormant, stress can activate it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that. Kristen,
Oh,
yes,
I was wondering, the iHercules, is that available worldwide?
pretty much. And if it's not, there's somebody who can help ship it to a country where New Extracts does not ship to.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
It's a parasite cleanse too?
Yeah.
Like all of it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's formidable. I mean, that's why I was so skeptical, Kristen, because I was like, these are some really powerful claims. Like what the what? But the more I learn about it, so I have a huge team because Rachel built this huge team under me now, but I'm not really working the business, as some of you know. Um, but it's been astounding for me to watch what's happened in terms of the health of my team and their team and their family and friends. And I'm just like sort of like, what the what? So yeah, it's worthy. It's so worthy. I wouldn't be able to say that if I hadn't gone through these last 6 months and eliminated the neuropathy in my hands. Like I'm so
Amazing. My
Right.
dad has
grateful.
neuropathy.
Who?
My dad, I mean, Purium has helped him like immensely. He lives on Purium.
Oh
And
wow.
it's really helped him a lot. But I'm like, he still needs a little bit more. So I don't know. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so you don't have to get the whole pack that has, the cream and the patches. You can just get the iHercules spray. Um, you know.
And
So,
what are the cream and the patches used for?
well, that's the whole protocol, Val, is the cream, the under tongue spray. The cream is topical, so you can put it on your face. It's got the same herbs in it that the spray has.
Mm-hmm.
You can also use it in your orally for gout for mouth oral health. And then the patches are frequency patches. So there's about
Mm.
12 or so different frequency patches. So I've been using a pain patch and an ivermectin fenbendazole. I've never taken those drugs.
Oh, that's the thing where you have to know something, like have to pick something, because I thought, okay, it's the patches where you have to say I want for this or that. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, you got to dial that in a little bit. Yeah, so I've never taken those drugs. I've never been drawn to taking those drugs. But when I saw the frequency patch, I was like, well, that's interesting. So I've been using that patch, both those patches.
Mm,
But they have like 10 other patches for whatever, ails you. Um,
mhm.
and uh yeah, I've just been really impressed by how new extracts is helping people. And the calls and the testimonials, they're mind blowing. Mind blowing. Every time I get a friend who gets on the call, they're just like, "Oh my God, I want this for my family."
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That's good.
Okay.
Anything that gets us away from pharmaceuticals is a victory.
Yes.
exactly. Well, good. Thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. And please reach out to me if you want to know more about anything that I've shared here. And yeah, to your health. May it be of benefit. Okay.
You too, honey.
Okay.
Take care.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank
You.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.